Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I finally get to sit down and make the video that is one of the inspirations on why I made this channel, because me making this channel, one of the main purposes was to help you guys get into the gym for the first time, how to overcome your fear, your anxiety, whatever kind of issues or problems that you are facing, whatever reason it may be, why you don't want to go to the gym. And believe me, I understand because I had a fear and anxiety of walking into a gym, like any kind of crazy, crowded, social interaction kind of place like that for most of my life. And how did I finally break that barrier? How can I help you guys break down that barrier? What can you expect in terms of what the sign up process is like? What's it like when you first walk in there? What is it really going to be like, right? Because the ideas that you have in your head that are keeping you out of going to the gym, I'm here to tell you that it's probably not what you really think it is. So that's why this channel, the first few videos that I uploaded, I recorded myself doing various exercises in Planet Fitness because I wanted to show you guys that if I can do it, you can do it. And if I just made this video before I made those other videos, it's like, well, can I really believe him? Like, is he really, I had to make a few videos to prepare for this one so that you guys know that I'm serious and how you can be serious as well. And it's really not as bad as you think it is, especially if you watch my other videos. So we're going to come at this from the perspective of Planet Fitness because that's the gym that I went to. I think that's the most accessible gym that most of you guys are going to go to. So what is the whole process like, right? So let me help ease your mind because you're probably thinking, okay, I've got to go in there and I got to do some big sign up thing, like, sign up and tell them my information and give them my name, the employee. No, you don't do any of that. I mean, you can go there and sign up in person, but believe it or not, you can just do it right at home. Do it on your phone, do it on your iPad. It takes a few minutes. You actually just go on the website and it takes, I forget exactly what information they ask for. It's just like your name, and then you just do the payment, which most of the time is like $1, or they may even have like a free sign up or something. Um, I think they give me a link, so like I'll put my link in the description. Where I think if you use my link, you get like a free month, or I don't remember how it works, but essentially you just go on the website. It's really easy. You sign up in a couple minutes, and then you just go down there, and then okay, the first time I will prepare you, right? You're going to walk in there and it's not just going to be, hello, how are you? And you walk right in. They will need a picture. So when you go in there, just tell them, hey, I just signed up at the front counter. The employees there are typically very nice, at least the ones where I go to. And they will take a quick picture just for security reasons so that when you come in, when you scan in, it'll probably, it shows them a picture of you just so that they can verify your identity and you're not using someone else's phone to sign in. So just to prepare you for that. That's like the one thing where some people might be like, "Ooh, I don't want to go in there and let them know that I'm new to the gym. I don't want everybody staring at me like, oh, who's this new person?" But okay, so here's I'll help you with that. Every Planet Fitness layout is almost exactly the same. So you walk in and it's a big sort of empty, spacious lobby. They have a half wall typically, but set up between the equipment and the lobby. So like when you walk in there, believe me, people that are working out, they're sitting down on the machines. They're lower position than you. They're not looking over, staring over like, oh, who's this new guy coming in? First of all, they probably can't even see because of the half wall, so you've kind of got like some privacy. And usually there's no reason for people to be hanging out in the lobby other than just scanning on their phone and walking in. So it's not like you're going to walk in and there's going to be a whole bunch of people hanging out in this lobby area, like looking at the new guy coming in. It's just going to be you, the nice employee. You're just going to tell them, I'm new here. They take your photo and then you just walk in and that's it. There's no big arduous process. What I would recommend doing is go late at night. That's what I did. Just one night, it hit me. And I know for those of you that are familiar with my background, I'm not going to get into it with this video, but I did have a big health scare, and a lot of you are probably like, "Oh, Pete went to the gym because he had to, right? Because his health, with his heart and everything." No, I actually did not specifically go to the gym for that because I could have started going to the gym several months earlier, right? Like I needed some time to recover. I couldn't just go straight into the gym after, my hospital visit. So I, I I had this period of time where I'm like, man, I feel good. I'm doing my walks every day, but I didn't have to go, like, I didn't have to start working out. This is a decision that I made. Just one day I was like, man, I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of sitting in this chair that I'm in right now. I didn't want to do more streaming or video recording or whatever I was planning on doing that night. I got up at like 11, 12 o'clock at night at the end of December, freezing out. Normally I'd be in bed in like a couple or a few hours, and I'm like, this is it. Tonight is the night. And I went to Planet Fitness. I didn't give myself time to think. Just when that moment crossed my mind, I just went. And I know I'm a little scatterbrained here. I have no notes. This is just all off the top of my head. There's going to be no edits. This is all going to be done in one take. So excuse me if I jump around a little bit. To prepare me for going to the gym, I did spend about a week or two watching Planet Fitness videos, and I would encourage you guys to do the same. It'll help a lot with your mindset. Just go on YouTube and type in Planet Fitness for beginners, Planet Fitness layout, Planet Fitness beginner exercises, and just watch some videos, and you'll see it's like, wow, it's really not that bad. And it just kind of mentally prepares you for what to expect while you're in there. And then after I sort of got that stuff into uh, my mindset, just one night it just randomly hit me. I'm like, that's tonight's the night, and I just went. And the first thing I did, I had already pre-signed up. In fact, the guy that was working there super late at night, he didn't take my picture that night. I just kind of walked in. He must have been like, I'm too tired for this. I'm just let him go in. I just went right on the treadmill. And if you go really late at night, especially on a weekend, weekends are amazing. That's one of my number one tips. If you are actually genuinely afraid of the gym and you have social anxiety and like being in spaces with a lot of people, especially at places what you perceive to be as intimidating as the gym, go on a Saturday or a Sunday night, especially. I don't know about you, but my Planet Fitness on the weekend, if you go late, even during the day, it's pretty dead, especially on a Sunday. Like if you're going to go during the day, Saturday or especially a Sunday, perfect days. Like there's not a lot of people there, tons of open machines. But if you go on a weekend night, especially Sunday, while everybody's like getting, if you have the ability to go late on a Sunday night, I know that's kind of crazy because, a lot of people get up for work in the morning on Monday. Uh, even if it's just for your first couple times, like don't always go at night. Just go there for your first few times if you're scared on a weekend, because I guarantee you it's going to be really, really dead there. And just get on the treadmill. Treadmills are really easy to work. Believe me, you just hit the big green button that says go and you adjust the speed. No big deal. It's not intimidating. Just walk, spend a half an hour and just watch. And then if you feel up to it, maybe hop on a different machine, hop on the elliptical, very similar to a treadmill, very easy to use. Maybe I wouldn't encourage going on the Stepmaster. That might like wind you a little bit too much if you're not used to cardio. But just like a nice light treadmill walk. Maybe the elliptical, maybe the exercise bike. Just don't go too hard. And people watch. Watch the machines that people are using. Kind of like look around and be like, okay, that machine over there, that one in that corner there doesn't look too bad to use. Just like a very basic motion. Or that's the one that I saw Pete use in one of his videos. And then you can watch my video and kind of see how I do it. And that's it. You don't got to go in there and go crazy. A lot of people use Planet Fitness just for basic cardio, basic walking. And you don't have to spend an extraordinary amount of time there. You can just be in there for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then get out. And then gradually work your way up. When you feel ready for a machine, go in, do a little bit of treadmill walking, 10 or 15 minutes, and then hop on one or two machines. Maybe every time you go there, you don't have to view it as like it's got to be this all day thing. You got to know how to use all the machines. Go up to a machine and just pick one or two. And what I would encourage you to do is walk around, even if you don't want to use them, look at the machine, get the name, write the name down, snap a picture of it, and then go home and do your research on that machine. Watch some videos, how to use, how to form, best weight, beginner form, chest press machine, whatever machine it is. Watch a few videos on YouTube and you'll be like, wow, that looks really easy. And then go in there the next day or the same day and use that machine. But what I encourage you to do, and this is what I did when I first got started, is when you sit down at the machine, don't feel intimidated. There's plenty of machines in there. Don't feel like you're hogging the machine and there's a ton of people waiting to use it. Just maybe try and pick a machine where there's at least two available, right? There's a lot of machines in Planet Fitness where there's not just one, so that way you don't feel like you're hogging the one machine in Planet Fitness. Pick one that has at least two, and then that way, if you don't feel you're being waited on because there's another machine that someone else can hop on at any point when the other person's done. And sit down at the machine, bring up the video that you saved or videos that you saved, and watch how to use the machine with the proper form right as you're sitting at the machine. That way you can kind of reference it, do a set, reference it again if you have to, because a lot of the machines will be a little intimidating, even the simple ones. You want to make sure that you're doing everything right. Start with a really lightweight. Don't feel like believe me, the pin machines and honestly most old Planet Fitness machines, nobody can really see. The weight that you're selecting is kind of obscured in the machine. It is very hard. You'd have to be looking really hard to tell how much weight somebody was using on these pin-loaded machines. And that's the ones where it's like you pull the pin out and you stick it in, and it's like the plates that are stacked on top of one another in like a tower. you'd have to really care how much weight someone's lifting. And believe me, the last thing somebody is caring or doing is looking how much weight you are lifting in Planet Fitness. So another thing that you can do is every machine will have a QR code on it. And if you have your phone, you don't got to feel awkward. Just like take a quick little QR code scan and it'll show you a very basic movement of how to use that machine. They're not the greatest. I'd still recommend that you watch a quick YouTube video. This is the one time that I get use out of YouTube Shorts because there are tons of YouTube Shorts videos out there, but I tend to like the longer ones. Maybe watch the shorts while you're in Planet Fitness, but while you're at home researching a machine, maybe watching the longer form videos is better because you'll learn a lot on what to do and what not to do on the machines if you're watching videos, the longer form videos. So if you need help figuring out what, it's a video I can do on its own in the future, but just like really basics as you're first getting started. Machines that would be really hard to screw up is the seated leg press. That's just a really basic compound movement. Some form of upper body, so like it might be a little tough at the beginning, but use the assisted machines. Go for the preacher curl, go for the tricep press, like any of the machines where you're not using free weights. I wouldn't recommend jumping in there and immediately going on barbells and dumbbells because that's what I did. I started with the machines. It's really hard to mess those up. You could do you could do your leg press. I recommend the chest press machine. Very basic guided movements. And make sure you're using the ones that use the pin loaded machine, not the ones with the plates. Those are if you're first starting to the gym, just start as basic and easy as possible. In terms of back, just do the lat pull down machine. That's one of the easier ones that I start. That's the one where you got, you're gripped all the way up top and you're just pulling down, going like this. Really basic stuff. Just start with like those 3 machines and then work your way up from there. And don't make the mistake that I did in the beginning. Less is more in the gym. That's a topic for another video, but don't do it. Don't, even if you feel like you can do a lot, don't do a lot. Because eventually it becomes junk volume. You get overly fatigued. You're not doing yourself a favor by doing more. Just stick to a handful of exercises. When you're first getting started, 4, 5, 6 different exercises, you're in and out of there in about an hour. But recovery is key, right? So I'm not going to turn this into a whole beginner video. That's for another topic. For now, that's just to give you an expectation of what you can expect going into the gym, right? Because my goal with this video is to break your fear and your anxiety. So we've broken that step. We've gotten you in the door for your first day. You're on the treadmill, but now you're like, man, people are going to judge me. People are going to be looking at me. They're going to be side-eyeing me like, let's just say, we're not judging anybody here, but let's just say that you are overweight. Maybe you're morbidly overweight. Maybe, you're not overweight, but you got like a little extra baggage. I'm here to tell you I've been going to the gym now for almost 8 months. The last thing people are doing is looking at you. You want to know why? Because everybody's living on their cell phone in the gym. Every time you look around, everybody's listening to music. Between their sets, 90% of people are looking at their phone. They are not looking at you. They are looking at their phone. They are distracted. And if they're there with someone else, they're talking to their friends. They're not really looking at you. They could care less. You got to remember, there's a lot of people that have been going to the gym for years. The last thing that they care about is what the new guy is doing, right? They are more concerned about getting in and out. They got to get home. They got to eat dinner. They got kids. They got school. They got work. They don't have time to be sitting there staring at you, caring what you're doing. If anything, I'll help reassure you because at least it's my mindset. When I'm in the gym and I see somebody that maybe I haven't seen in there before, or maybe I've been seeing them for months, and if they happen to be overweight, I actually tend to, like, I don't know what the right word would be, but I admire it, right? Like I look at them and I'm like, I cheer them on in my head. I'm like, man, this person, they're giving it their all. I see them here consistently. I don't look at them like, oh, what is that? What are they wasting their time on that exercise for, right? Like you'll hear sometimes online where the snobby people will be like, don't do crunch machines if you're overweight because, well, you got no abs. You're not going to see abs for years. Baloney. You're building muscle underneath all of the fat, right? So when you start losing the fat, that muscle is going to be there already. You're going to be like, whoa, there it is, right? It's going to look amazing on you. But not to veer too off topic, but that's when I see people that may be overweight at the gym, I think to myself, man, I hope they keep at it because, some people have a bit of a more of an uphill battle than others, right? In terms of losing enough weight to see the results. And I kind of cheer them on in my head. I've seen this one guy at the gym. He's been going there since I started going, and all he does is he comes in, he plays mobile games on his phone. His face is buried in his phone the whole time he's there. But he's there grinding away almost every day that I'm in there. I see him hitting up the elliptical. His back's sweating. He's definitely, he's overweight, but he's putting in the work, and I can start to see the progress and start to see the results. And I hope one day, like maybe 6 months, however long it takes, I'll eventually go up to him and, give him like great work. I see you've made a lot of progress kind of thing, right? Because we all love those kind of compliments. And to be able to tell someone, like, just know in the back of your mind that if you are that type of person where you're embarrassed to go in because of your body, just know that people are silently in the gym cheering you on, and they are waiting for the day where they can come up to you and hopefully say, like, great work, great progress. And if I see older people in the gym, like, I think the same thing. I'm like, man, isn't it great that they're in here? Even though like, you can tell they're not using the machine correctly. They're not really, but they're giving the effort. They're staying active. They're putting in the work, right? So the people that you would think would be the most ridiculed at the gym are secretly the ones that people cheer on the most. So keep that in mind. On the topic of, like, well, no, I'll save that one for another video. I don't want to veer too off topic here. So those are my top tips, right, so far. First day, try and go on a weekend, or try and go really late at night. When you get in there, make sure that you're not diving in too deep. Take as long as you need. Just do some cardio at first. You don't have to start introducing machines right away. And then once you're ready and comfortable, heavily research the machines. Don't just jump on and go all willy-nilly and try to figure it out yourself. Do the research, because then you'll feel so much more comfortable. You'll feel so much more ready to tackle these machines when you already somewhat know how to use them. And then from there, you can gradually introduce new things. Now, My Planet Fitness offers a trainer. I don't know if all Planet Fitnesses do this. When I first started going there, they did not offer one, but they offer what I believe is a free trainer. So you can sign up for this. You can ask at the front desk and be like, I'm a little uncomfortable. If you're thinking to yourself, I'm a little uncomfortable with using some of these exercises. I don't want to hurt myself. They can assign you a personal trainer. I think that you get them for like a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. I don't know how long it is, but they'll walk you around the gym, and they'll help teach you the exercises. So, if you think you're ready for something like that, that's also an option. Other than that, you just want to make sure that you don't do anything that you're uncomfortable with. Stick with the really easy machines, because it is easy to get injured. I've received several injuries myself. You don't want to try and lift heavy because you feel like people are judging you based on the weight that you're lifting, because not that is what I was doing. Definitely wasn't doing that, but it was something to do with improper form, not warming up correctly, all these different things. And I've had a few injuries. I'll talk about that in another video, and how to avoid the injuries that I received. But eventually, and I'm here to reassure you this, the first week or two, yeah, it might be a little awkward, but eventually it becomes like clockwork, right? You look forward to going to the gym. And this is, now I'm going to transition into like why you want to go to the gym, because eventually you start to realize, like, man, how did I live my life without this? Right? So you're probably looking for a reason to go to the gym other than just like losing weight. It goes far beyond that. It helps with your mental health. It helps with your confidence. It helps with just going through life with a whole different lens. So eventually you will be so proud and so happy that you went to the gym that you'll question why it took you so long to go in there, and you'll be like, there's no way I can ever stop going to the gym at this point. You'll reach that point of no return, which is what I've pretty much reached at this point, because eventually, and you got to stick with it. This is the hardest part about staying in the gym, depending on your physique, depending on where you're starting, right? Some of you will have a lot more work to do before you start seeing results. It is what it is. Just know that progress in the beginning for some of you may be very slow. You're going to be like, what's the point? I'm not seeing any results. It's happening. But if you've lived your whole life dormant, stagnant, you don't move, you don't exercise, like, you got to awaken those muscles. Some of my muscles I'm still trying to awaken, and it's been 8 months, right? Namely in lower body area, like the glutes. Like, I do a lot of sitting. I do all these years I've streamed and made videos. Like, some muscles just require a lot more time before you start seeing progress and results, but you gradually start to see it. So don't feel dissuaded if after 2 or 3 months or even longer 4, 5, 6 months in some instances, you're looking and you're like, man, why am I wasting my time? I'm not seeing any results. Now that could be from a multitude of things. It could just be that you're not pushing yourself quite as hard. Maybe the weights are a little too light. Maybe your form is breaking down. Maybe you're focusing on the wrong things. So you'd have to reevaluate a little bit. But if you feel like you definitely are doing everything right, believe me, you are making progress. You're making that mind muscle connection progress. You're building that muscle. It's just that you can't see it yet, right? Like my belly section, right? I still, that's the hardest part for guys, to get rid of the fat down there. But over the course of these 8 months, I've slowly been starting to see progress in terms of like ab definition there and like upper abs. And it's really starting to come full circle. And I'm like, man, all that work that I've been putting in, it's finally starting to like slowly come in. For some of you though, it's going to be more than just your belly. It's going to be your arms. Like you can see it. A lot of people have said like my face has slimmed down. I've seen it, right? Like you will eventually, one day you'll look in the mirror for months or weeks and be like, I don't see a difference. And then one day you're just going to wake up and you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to be like, whoa, huh, I can see the difference. I can see like I could see a jawline a little bit differently. I can see a little bit of better definition of my shoulder or something. And that hard work, that perseverance will eventually pay off. And another tip that I can give you to help keep you in the gym is to try and take progress photos once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever it may be, right? Just like when you wake up in the morning and you're in the bathroom, wherever, just snap a couple pictures real quick and then go about your day. You'll thank yourself later. I kind of wish that I had more photos in the very beginning. I only have a few because I was like, I'm not going to need that. I'll see the progress. But being able to visually confirm with yourself, like as time goes on and look at where you were compared to where you are now, that helps build the confidence boost to keep you in the gym. Now, hopefully like I said, this wasn't scripted. This is all off the top of my head, so I may have forgotten about some things. So, make sure if you have any questions, you leave a comment down below and a question and ask me, and I could make a whole another video on it. But the main purpose of this is really for the people with social anxiety, because if I did it, you guys can do it too. Because when I was really young, I was very shy, tons of social anxiety, right? So family gatherings, going to parties, like, oh, we got to go to a friend's place, or even if my friends invited me somewhere, it was like any kind of big social gathering with a lot of people, especially if it was in a place with strangers, like the feeling of walking into a room with strangers and you feel like they're all looking at you, that's like one of the scariest things. That's why back in the day, I didn't want to play trading card games, because walking into a card game store and the feeling of like everybody turning around and looking at like the new guy and like, how do I introduce myself? Right? Like, I'm sure a lot of you know what that feeling is like, and that translates into places like the gym, because you get that same kind of sense that you're going to walk into the gym and all the big buff strong guys are going to turn around and look at you. But I'm here to tell you, they are not turning around and looking at you. Planet Fitness has so many people in there that people can't keep track of who is new. I'm sure the employees know, but the people that go there, they are not paying attention to the new guy, right? They really don't care, especially the big buff guys. And in fact, most of the big buff guys, in my experience, are probably some of the kindest people there that will help you if you have a question. I understand that going up to a stranger and asking them for help at the gym is probably like not what you're really looking to do, especially if you're watching this video. But I'm just trying to like help let you know that the gym, especially Planet Fitness, is nothing like what you think it is. A lot of the commercial, like, right, we've been so conditioned to watch movies, television shows, influencers on YouTube, and like you watch this content and the gym looks way more intimidating than it actually is in real life, especially if it's content that is in a more hardcore gym, or movies especially, like, right, everything in the gym is always made to look scary in a way, almost. But when you actually get in there, it's just going to be filled with a bunch of grandmas on treadmills and people of all walks of life just trying to better themselves. And they're if anything, like I said, they're just going to look at you like part of the family, like, oh, cool, we got someone else in here that's trying to make themselves healthier and more fit, and just trying to better their lifestyle. So anyway, guys, I don't want this video to drone on too long. There's probably a lot that I forgot to cover, and I'll cover that in future videos. There's a lot of topics I want to do. The main purpose of this channel is to do more videos like this, where we just sit and talk, as sort of a motivational channel to get you guys into the gym. I will, of course, still upload videos of me working out in the gym and progress and stuff like that. But well, it's going to be a mix of videos like this. I want to get out and do videos like this more so in parks and I don't know, just like nice natural outdoor environments. But sometimes we got to do it in the game room. So in the future we'll be bouncing around. But if you have any ideas for questions or topics that you want me to cover in a video, just leave a comment below. And I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.